Greetings from Cairo, everyone. My dear viewers, this is from Cairo, Egypt. This is the land of the pharaohs and Omar Sharif of Lawrence of Arabia. This is Sharif Hamdi, the Egyptian film critic and director. I'm welcoming you to my tribute to my beloved actor, John Travolta, who just 2 days ago received an emotional honorary Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. You need guys to watch the video to see his words when he say it is beyond the Oscars, which means to him so much, because really this guy is a refined actor and he had so many personal tragedies through his life, and he's still looking a very refined actor, looking a young soul. He's 72 years old, but he doesn't look his age. He looks like he's in his 50s. So maybe this video will be a bit long. That's why I'm making it in some parts. I cannot imagine how many parts, yani, but I have so many movies on physical media of the great John Travolta, who was misunderstood by Hollywood during his prime years, and even in his later years. Okay, I'm gonna delve deeply in his beginnings, and I hope and some obscure movies maybe you don't know. Okay, but let me take a sip of my green tea and start my tribute. Okay, frankly, I got introduced to John Travolta during growing up in the 80s. Okay, while rummaging through the library of my dear father, his VHS library, I caught my eyes the movie Grease. Okay, the movie Grease, which he starred in 1978 with the late lovely Olivia Newton-John. I love this woman so much. God rest his soul. God rest her soul. Okay, it was released in 1978. It was a big musical. Well, I was growing up about 14 or 15 guys, and watching this movie is so special to me. Okay, and I remember three parts of the movie. The song Summer Nights at the beginning, and there was a funny thing while watching this song on VHS. You know, the VHS in the old days were 4:3, right? At the end of this song, you can see the face of, to the right, of John Travolta, and to the left, the face of the lovely Olivia Newton-John. Okay, while watching the VHS, the face of Olivia Newton-John disappears because of the frame and the aspect ratio. I waited till I got the Blu-ray, okay, of Grease, this lovely edition of Grease, okay, which has very beautiful retrospective interviews with the cast, and even a reunion about 78, 88, 98, maybe 30 years after the movie. Okay, this movie, guys, is one of my favorite movie of all time, because I've watched it literally hundreds of times, and I skip with the Blu-ray, okay, for the three main parts: the song Summer Nights, and then the dance party, okay, at the high school, and I used to emulate the people doing this, okay, and then the farewell party after graduation at the end. This movie is so dear to my heart. I watch it whenever I feel sadness, to laugh and dance with Mr. John Travolta, and Miss Olivia Newton-John. And who cannot remember the line, "I'm the one that I love, the one that I love, ooh, ooh, ooh." It's electrifying, okay? By the way, this contains also Grease 2, okay? Grease 2, which was a sequel to Cash Grab on the first one. The first one was released in 1978. It was a huge success. Then the second part was released in 1981 with the young Michelle Pfeiffer, before Scarface with Al Pacino in 1983, and Maxwell Caulfield, the British heartthrob, okay, Grease 2 and Grease 1. So this is my first introduction to my beloved actor John Travolta. But when did John Travolta appear in American cinema? Well, he had a small role in one of my favorite Brian De Palma movies called Carrie, which is an adaptation of my beloved author Stephen King, with Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie. Piper Laurie is an amazing actress, by the way. Okay, he had a small role terrifying Sissy Spacek, and then in 1977 he got his breakthrough in Hollywood without realizing by appearing in a beautiful musical movie called Saturday Night Live. Okay, Saturday Night Live. Okay, and it is one of my favorite disco movies, reminiscence of the 70s era. Okay, and you can see this John Travolta dancing, okay, and walking down the streets at the beginning of the movie trying to find his way, and the soundtrack by the Bee Gees is phenomenal. Okay, the sound back. Okay, there are beautiful dance sequences in this movie. Okay, in the discos of the 70s. Anyway, this movie became a big success for John Travolta, that he was nominated for his first Oscar as a lead actor. Okay, John Travolta, as a beginner, got huge success early on with this movie, his breakthrough role, Saturday Night Fever, then appearing in the musical box office hit with Grease. Okay, so he started taking challenges, and as I told you in a previous, or maybe not, in the previous episode, I really don't care nowadays about ratings or critics, and even the site IMDb. I just entered the site IMDb for information. People refer to this movie is 4 or 5 or 9. I don't care. Recently, I got an obscure film by Mr. John Travolta. It was a curiosity for me. This movie, by the critics and audience alike, it is an abysmal movie. It is a relationship between. So what is the name of the movie? This movie is Moment by Moment. Okay, Moment by Moment, starring Lily Tomlin, okay, and John Travolta. It is a beautiful love affair between a guy who's in his late 20s, played by John Travolta, and Lily Tomlin, who is in her early 40s. Frankly, I've seen only for the first 10 minutes of the movie, and the music is really grabbing. And this movie is directed by a female director, I think Jane Wagner. Jane Wagner, okay, and Jane Wagner was criticized for her nonsensical screenplay. I don't believe in this ideas, this remarks or critics' remarks, because many movies that were destroyed by critics and still are really very touching human stories, which are dear to a human person who likes human stories. I'm saying that why about Moment by Moment. Moment by Moment received 3.3 rating on IMDb. Okay, and it was a box office flop, and should have destroyed the career of John Travolta at his beginning. Okay, I'm saying this why, because I have two movies that are similar in the theme of Moment by Moment here beside me, and I watched both of them, and I really loved them regarding of their weak critical and audience claim. The first movie is this movie, Once Is Not Enough, okay, which is based on Jacqueline Susan's novel, starring the late Kirk Douglas and a beautiful actress called Deborah Refn, okay? And other I will talk about this movie in a future film episode, because it's not related to John Travolta, okay? This movie really is very, very, very romantic, and the ending is very sad, okay? And another movie, like Moment by Moment, okay? And actually, this Blu-ray has the trailer for this beautiful movie, Slow Dancing in the Big City, with Paul Sorvino, okay? This movie, guys, touched me so deeply, huh? Let's talk about it in another theme, okay? It's time for me to take a sip and talk about the next film in this great actor, John Travolta. Well, my next film of John is this beautiful urban country film, Urban Cowboy, okay, which was directed by James Bridges, okay. It was released in 1980. It was released in 1980, okay. This is one of his beautiful performances, Mr. John, about this guy trying to live the dream in a country setting. His co-star is the beautiful Deborah Winger, who got her breakthrough in the movie Terms of Endearment with Shelley MacLaine, okay, and starred with Richard Gere in An Officer and Gentleman in 1983. It is a beautiful movie. I need to revisit it and listen to the soundtrack, because I cannot remember the ending. But this movie is so beautiful, guys. Check it out, okay? Okay, our fifth movie in the filmography is his beautiful discovery, Two of a Kind. Yes, John Travolta did have another collaboration with the beautiful Olivia Newton-John, okay, Olivia Newton-John. He did this movie, Two of a Kind. This movie is really special, guys, regardless of also the critical failure. It stars John, and what does this movie talk about? Okay, it's talk about God, getting, it's something. God was fed up by humanity, and the voice of God is played by Gene Hackman, the late great Gene Hackman, who will star later with John Travolta in another beautiful comedy in the 90s. He's gonna destroy humanity. So three angels, one of them was played, I think, by Charles Durning, this fat guy. They're gonna say to God, let us prove that there is humanity, that people can sacrifice something just for the other without waiting for a return. Okay, it's a really beautiful movie, and Olivia maybe sang only one song, and she gave an acting lesson in this movie. This movie, guys, is so beautiful. Really, it's so beautiful. I bought the DVD a couple of years ago, and I was on the fence on the fence to see this beautiful romantic film about love and sacrifice. It's a really beautiful film, guys. This movie is so obscure. It has another title, Twist of Fate, because it is fate, and two of a kind. Okay, so check this movie, guys, this obscure movie, and let's stop at this and wait for the second part of this beautiful tribute, guys. See you soon in a cinema near you.